Hi. Does your child feel like they are pressured to be perfect when reading? Let's go ahead and shift that focus. In this video, I'm going to show you how to celebrate small wins and effort, not results. Hope you stick around. Welcome to Readers in the Making, the live show where we celebrate the magic of books and the joy of helping kids grow as readers. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just someone who loves fostering a deep, lifelong love of reading, you're in the right place. Each week, I will dive into actionable tips, creative strategies, and inspiring stories to help you nurture confident, curious, and excited readers, one page at a time. I'm Trina Debry, your host and biggest cheerleader in the journey of building readers. So grab your coffee, your notebook, or maybe even your favorite book, and let's get ready to inspire the next generation of readers. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's dive in. Hi. We're celebrating progress, not perfection today on Readers in the Making. I'm Trina Debry, and welcome. So if your child has ever felt like they have to be perfect when they're reading, which feels like an expectation sometimes, I want us to turn that around. We're going to focus on helping them feel confident and excited and celebrated. So we're focusing on the effort and not on perfection. So today we're going to talk about how to redefine success with small wins. We're going to talk about ways to celebrate progress without comparisons and why effort-based encouragement builds resistance and joy. Okay, so let's jump in. So let's redefine success and focus on small wins. Success doesn't mean reading perfectly. We don't have to read perfectly. We don't have to get every single word perfect 100% of the time. We don't have to read the exact words per minute 100% of the time. The effort, the conscious the work that children are putting in is important, and it needs to be celebrated, and we need to focus on that. Sometimes when we're looking at a child, we're thinking where they're lacking instead of what are their strengths and how can I build on them? It's two totally different mindset shifts. We're looking at a deficit or we're looking at an abundance mentality, and we're thinking, how can we build on the positives? So that is one of the huge shifts that we're talking about. We're going to celebrate every little thing. We're going to celebrate them attempting to try a tricky word, whatever strategy they're using, especially if it's one that you've been working on with your child. If you are getting them to stretch the sounds out and then put them back together fast, then you're going to celebrate that. If you're looking at, chunking or framing, or you're looking at completely looking at the little words inside of a word, then you're celebrating that. If you want them to use meaning and you want them to look at the picture to help with that, then you're celebrating that. Whatever strategy you're using, you're celebrating that. If they start reading more like they're talking, you're celebrating that. If they pick out a book, you're celebrating that. If they want to read, you're celebrating that. Do you hear what I'm saying? We're celebrating all those small efforts. This is building confidence. I don't mean we have to tell them they're the greatest at everything in the world, but when it's something so personal and something so important like reading, then yes, we do want to focus on small wins. All right, we're going to use every win of the day, and we're going to really make a big deal out of that. Let's talk about celebrating progress without making comparisons. Now, this one is really hard for me. I feel like as time went on while I was teaching, it became more and more about comparing kids to other kids. So much so that they were asking us to put graphs and charts in our classroom with kids information. And of course, they always said, well, they don't know who they are. We don't have their name on it. Let me tell you, they know who they are. Just like if you were at church or an organization that you attend and you had all of your weight on charts and they didn't have your name, You know who you are. And it's not motivating to see yourself at the bottom of a list. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't make you go, I'm going to change this. It makes you feel depleted and like you're never going to get there. And that's not a good feeling. And that's not motivation for reading. We don't necessarily have to compare all the time. I had a lot of parents asking me where their child stood as far as how the other kids felt. Now, I understand that question. We want to know about where our child is. And sometimes comparing it to like the average or whatever other children are doing, it gives us a piece of the puzzle, but it's not the whole puzzle. And also, a lot of times I wouldn't tell them that. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you it that way. I'm going to tell you the benchmark. I'm going to tell you the standard of where we want them to be at a certain point, where your child is and how much we're going to move towards that. But we're not going to compare to everyone else. Comparison is the thief of joy. So we have to remember that even if with something like this. Now, I know when we take our kids to well visits, they tell us, your child's in this percentile and that percentile. They're on the chart for growth or development or whatever. Again, it's a range. It's a range. It doesn't mean if they're not right here at this time, then they are not going to get there. It means that this is where they are now, and what do we have to do to get them to the next point? So we want to be really careful when we are comparing. It can be really, really detrimental to their growth as a reader. All right, so why is effort-based encouragement? Why does this matter so much? When kids feel proud of their effort, when they feel like they have accomplished something, they're more likely to keep trying, to keep going. And that's the point of it, even when reading feels hard. So that is why it matters so much. We want to encourage kids to enjoy the process, not just to overcome. It's not just a battle of overcome and then you're done. It's enjoy the process along the way. So we really want to make sure that we're praising them and we're encouraging them and we're celebrating those small moments. All right, so we've talked about defining success by recognizing effort and small wins. We are celebrating progress uniquely without comparison, and we're building resistance by focusing on effort-based encouragement. All right, if you want more quick wins in a short amount of time, grab my quick start guide below. It's a freebie. Just all you have to do is download it and grab it. It gives you some ideas on where to start, even if you have a busy schedule. We're going to inspire reading. We're trying to build confident, joyful readers in the making, one page at a time. See you next time.